What's going on, everyone? It is your boy El Parcero, Philly United of all things sports and culture here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the roster move by the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to talk a little about the defense, a little about the offense, a little bit of everything. We got a quick video here. That's why we are on the cell phone here today. But I wanted to catch up with some Birds talk on this beautiful, gorgeous hump day that we have here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia. So, guys, if you haven't already, step outside for sure. Do not let these Eagles ruin your mood. But before we dive into today, guys, make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. We talk Philly sports all the damn time, from the Eagles, the Sixers, the Phillies, the Flyers, and the Union. So consider subscribing and tuning on in for all of your Philly sports content. So starting off with today, obviously the big news for the Birds was the fact that Jordan Howard officially has been added to the 53-man active roster. Now, this is a move that was long overdue. We've kind of been talking about this for a while now. Why wasn't Jordan Howard being why wasn't he put on the roster to begin with in training camp? Like, he was the best back in camp. He really impressed in preseason and in training camp, and the fact that he did not make the original roster was kind of baffling. I talked about this in the first 2 weeks, the fact that you could have used Jordan Howard in some short yard situations, especially early on in the season when the Birds were struggling in the red zone. It would have been nice having a Jordan Howard, and as you can see, my man's got 3 touchdowns, and all of them coming in the red zone. So it's just kind of a little bit baffling. Goes back to the point of what is it that Howie Roseman is seeing in some of these moves, because I do think that these type of moves, when you don't include a Boston Scott, when you don't include a Jordan Howard, when you don't include a TJ Edwards, I think that all has to do with the front office, and it's definitely disappointing. But the fact of the matter is, Jordan Howard, who was on the practice squad the last 2 weeks, obviously if you want him to play on Sunday, he had to be part of the active roster, and he got granted that wish, and he is finally on the 53-man roster, and I'm happy for him more than anything. This man has, for whatever reason, it just is unexplainable, has been kind of slept on by the Birds and by the league over the past 2-3 seasons. Like, the thing is everything he's doing this year has not been a surprise to me. Like, I've seen this from him in 2019. I've seen this from him in the past. And for the fact that he did not get any time with the Miami Dolphins when he was there for that couple of months, and then he gets signed back by the Birds last year, barely gets any playing time. And then this year, obviously not making it onto the roster for like the first 7 weeks. Definitely baffling, but listen, God has a plan, as I always say, and God had a plan for Jordan Howard, and it's all coming to fruition now. And this is a really big kudos to Jordan Howard. I'm really happy for him, and we'll see how this offense looks going forward. We talked about it at nauseum in the past couple of days, kind of recapping this Chargers game, but this Eagles team lacks balance. The first 7 weeks, we get a heavy passing game. Jalen Hurts is throwing 30 to 40 times a game. These past 2 weeks, the Eagles have called around 40 running plays in the past 2 weeks between the Lions and the Chargers. And it's just crazy that, there's no medium. There's no medium with this Eagles team. It's either heavy pass or heavy run. At the end of the day, what you really need is a balanced attack. And you have Jalen Hurts. Like, Jalen Hurts is already going to bring a threat for rushing, regardless of what the situation is in the game. But this team really needs to get a more balanced attack. Too much run is not good. Too much pass is not good. Especially, the thing is that when you're going up against a quarterback like Justin Herbert, who was making plays, especially in that second half, you needed some plays in the passing attack as well, especially when time is running out. Running the ball kills a lot of time, and it was not helping us out whatsoever. So kudos to Jordan Howard. We'll see how he is being used going forward into the season. But this is definitely good news for the Philadelphia Eagles. Miles Sanders should be back soon enough. Curious how it'll all work once he comes back, because you have Kenny Gainwell still. You got Boston Scott still. Miles Sanders is dealing with the injury. He's waiting in the wings, and he should be back soon. When Miles Sanders comes back, the question would be, what do the Eagles do with the running back room? I would expect that Boston Scott would get the cut and somehow maybe get sent down to the practice squad, or I don't know, getting cut. I hope he doesn't get cut, because I love me some Boston Scott, but that is an option, as absolutely. But I do think that it would be Miles Jordan and Kenny Gainwell. And it'll be interesting to see what they do. I do not see them keeping 4 backs. Fact of the matter is, they're trying not to be this running team. But I think that Sirianni is adding more runs to this offense simply because of the limitations of Jalen Hurts that we have talked about this whole season. And it's really been the big question mark of the season. Is Jalen Hurts a franchise guy? Can we move forward with Jalen Hurts? Obviously, this team has a lot of holes, so everyone wants to know, what is the future? What is this roster building going to look like? And when you have a big question mark at the quarterback position, I don't think it's a big question mark, but it certainly is a question mark. When you have that question mark at the quarterback position, it leaves questions for the whole roster because now you finding a quarterback is not easy. They don't get pulled. You don't find them on every tree out there, right? It's not like finding linemen, not like finding wide receivers and whatnot. It's one of a kind, and for right now, the Eagles seem to have a guy here who's got the intangibles to play starting quarterback in the NFL. But when we look at him, when you break his game down, the inability to read the field quick enough has been an issue. His passing accuracy, it's more of the consistency with him, and we talked about it on Flipping the Birds last night. The consistency with Jalen Hurts has not been there all season long. The mechanics, the footwork, all that stuff has not been consistent there. I do think, like, if you look at that last drive for the Birds against the Chargers, look, that's the Jalen Hurts that can start in the NFL. That he was precise, and that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about that leadership, that moxie that he has. Not being rattled by any situation, not being rattled even now when everyone does not want him to be the quarterback. He's still in there. He's grinding. He's studying the tape. He's learning. He's trying to get better because he does feel in his heart that he can be the franchise quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. And that is what you want. That is more important above anything else, is the mentality of the guy. I do think that the rest will come. It's going to be tough, but for right now, that's why it is important that you lock up Jordan Howard for the rest of the season, because I think that having a balanced running game, setting Jalen Hurts up with least pressure as possible, and by running the ball that does do that, I think that is very important. I think that will be the beneficial aspect of this Eagles offense going forward. Apparently, Howie Roseman is traveling tonight to, I think it's Pittsburgh. There's Pittsburgh and UNC tonight, two quarterback prospects. So Howie does look like Howie is planning for the future without Jalen Hurts. I still think that Jalen Hurts is going to get that full season, but I do think that the front office is leaning more towards that he is not the guy. Problem is, I don't see anyone in the college ranks, and I know the kid, was it Carroll from Ole Miss? You guys know I don't really watch college football, but once the season's over, I'll definitely be having to watch a lot of this tape. But it's clear that Howie is not fully sold on Jalen Hurts as well. Go figure. Howie Roseman being sold on a quarterback? Never. Absolutely never. So we'll see what that turns around. We'll see the rumors, obviously, drafting, and obviously guys like Russell Wilson, guys like Deshaun Watson. Those are some names that you're going to be hearing a lot on the next couple months linked to the Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of talk has been made about this Eagles defense. It's been pretty bad. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It has been pretty bad. Now, it has improved upon. I do think that the talent, I think that the move Jonathan Gannon by putting in Davion Taylor and a TJ Edwards into the starting line as your starting linebackers has been a much better move for this team than having Alex Singleton and Eric Wilson. That's funny. I should watch the Texans tape. I wonder how Eric Wilson did in his first game with the Texans. But regardless, this defense, look. 6 minutes in that last drive to end the game on a last-second field goal, that's heartbreaking. All right, that is too much to be allowed on 6 minutes they killed. And it was like a 60, 70-yard drive. It wasn't a long drive. Like, it wasn't like they were coming from the 99 the 1-yard line on the other side. Like, they didn't have to go 99 yards. And for them to kill 6 minutes, that's bad. That's bad. And when you're watching the Chargers and how they're picking apart the Eagles, especially in that second half, that running game was not really. The Eagles did a good job of shutting down that running game, which I think they're going to have a difficulty this week, which we'll talk about later in the week. But Justin Herbert is a really smart quarterback. We know this, and he stepped up big time as a leader on Sunday as well. But when they got that quick passing game going, short yardage, all rhythm stuff, the pre-snap by Justin Herbert was impeccable as well, spotting out those blitzes. Noticing the coverages and attacking that coverages, that zone. Listen, that's why you can't continue running the zone as much as you do at nauseum. Justin Herbert completed 80% of his passes, and he's not the only one that has done that against the Birds. It is a serious problem. And when I'm hearing Jonathan Gannon talk to the media, when I'm hearing him discuss about his defense, it just sounds like a guy who's just speaking a bunch of bullshit, if I'm being quite honest with you. The dude at the beginning of the year promised us that his defensive system, there's no base defense. He coaches to the strengths of his defense, and he has yet to do that this season. You know, Javon Hargrave started off the season with 6 sacks. He was looking like an absolute clear-cut Pro Bowler for the NFC as a defensive tackle. He's been quiet the past couple weeks. Now, when you look at the tape, Yeah, he's added some pressure. Yeah, he's been a little bit of a menace at the defensive tackle position, but he's not been that menace that he was at the beginning of the year. 6 sacks. You had the game plan around him. Fletcher Cox as well. I mean, both defensive. I mean, the running defense was big, and a big part of it was the defensive line on Sunday. But when you got no pressure on Justin Herbert wasn't even touched. He did not get sacked yet once, and that is a problem. When you're paying the money to Josh Sweat, when you're paying the money to Javon Hargrave, when you're paying the money to Fletcher Cox, you need more. You just flat out need more. I know we're missing BG, but at this point, man, you've had enough time to kind of game plan around that, and you got to do a better job. Some more blitzing needs to be done as well. Like I get it. He was saying something. He was saying you saw a lot of 6, 7 men coverage on the field on Sunday, and that to me, like, you teams know that. Teams just flat out know that you cannot stop it. So for Jonathan Gannon, this defense, he keeps saying that he's got to do better play calling. Yeah, Jonathan, you got to do a better job play calling. But we knew this. We all knew this, and you need to realize that after 9 weeks. Yes, call some more blitzing. The thing is that if you don't have linebackers that can drop back in coverage and help out the coverage, then just use them on blitzes. TJ Edwards knows how to get home. TJ Edwards knows how to he's great on the run defense. He's great on isolations. Just use him. Use him for blitzes. And Davion can run as well, so use him for blitzing as well. We saw some cornerback blitzes as well on Sunday, and I thought that was great. But this Eagles defense overall, I think, yes, we are lacking the personnel, and I think that's what hindering Jonathan Gannon. But remember what Jonathan Gannon said at the beginning of the season. He coaches to his players' strength, and he's yet to do that. So again, when we're talking, it's the same thing with Sirianni. Enough talking, and we need to start doing some more action. So we got a couple more. We have what now? 4 days until Sunday. We're gonna continue breaking this down. I have a special episode of El Parcero Filicon, another Eagles content creator that everyone should know and love, which I will announce that tomorrow, Thursday. So that should be a lot of fun. We'll continue talking about the birds as this week goes on. But pretty much the gist of today, Jordan Howard, he's where he belongs on the 53-man roster, and Jonathan Gannon, either pick it up or get the hell out. He's obviously not this defensive genius that we all thought he would be, but for right now, what we're asking him is just help these guys out. So you got guys like Alex Singleton, Steven Nelson, Derek Barnett. We don't know the future of these guys in this league. Help them out. Like do those guys a solid. Like if it's not here, at least set them up so they can get themselves a solid deal going forward somewhere else. And you're just not doing them any favors and coaching to their strengths. So Jonathan Gannon's definitely got to step it up, as well as Sirianni. And the plants and Jonathan Gannon, I'm sorry, Nick Sirianni's his plant, it's growing. It is definitely growing. We are getting close, and this schedule is definitely going to get much, much easier. Tonight, guys, on Wednesday, we're going to be recapping the Flyers following their game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. That puck drop is at 7:30 tonight at the Wells Fargo Center. So following the game, we will be doing the recap. It might be a little late since tonight is the Union Cipher, the Union Podcast Cipher. It'll be on this channel. All the major Union podcasts coming together, talking about the Union heading into the playoffs. So it might be a little late for the Flyers recap, but it will still be up by midnight tonight. So, and then that's gonna be live, so you guys can come on in and we could talk some Flyers after that Maple Leafs game. That's gonna do it for me here. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe, and make sure you guys are subscribed to Oi Philly Sports for all those recaps, and this will also be on there as well. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I go by the name of El Parcero Philly. You guys take care.